Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? Hope so that you all will be fine at your homes, inshallah. I have a lot of prayers for all of you. Students, we are back with geography again with the same topic, fishing industry. That is unit 6 of your book, The Environment of Pakistan, and you will come to page number 102 and 103. Students, our today's topic, the expected socio-economic benefits of developing fish farming. It means that how fish farming is beneficial socially and economically. Socially mean for the people as a healthy social activity, plus economically in terms of benefit, in terms of monetary benefit. So during recent years, it has been realized that fish farming has greater scope for the people and economy of Pakistan due to certain factors. Like first one is greater return to fishermen. It means that if a fisherman is investing in fishing sector, it is getting benefit or getting profit in terms of money, and in terms of social the empowerment is also there, because people involved in a healthy activity of fishing while fishing industry is being developed in coastal areas. The next one is increased employment. So it is a voice that if fishing industry will be developed, more opportunities of employment will be there, and people will have a great opportunity to have employment in coastal areas. The next one is use of technology and upgrading of skills that will ensure increased fish production. In most of fishing harbors of Pakistan, conventional or traditional methods of fishing has been in practice, but now especially in Gwadar and Sindh, most of the fishermen are using advanced and modern technology, and this upgradation in skills and skills of catching fish and rearing fish and harvesting fish is increasing the fish production. The next one is favorable impact on foreign exchange earnings. And foreign exchange earning is considered as backbone of the economy of any country. So it is a big support for economy of Pakistan, because fishing industry has a very positive impact on our economy by earning foreign exchange. Then next is reduce burden on crops and livestock. So if there will be weak fishing industry, it means that more burden will be on crops, agriculture, livestock, and other sectors of investment. That's why if we have some effort to develop fishing industry in Pakistan, will have less burden on other sectors like farming of crops and livestock farming, dairy farming, poultry farming, etc. Now we will discuss fish farming and environment. Although there is a vertical blue line in the margin that is showing that this material is not specified in your syllabus, but that is important. It will directly or indirectly will help you to understand rest of the topics. That's why this material has given in your syllabus. So how fish farming is affecting physical environment, we'll see. The first one is that it has great impact on our ecosystem. So I think you have discussed the term ecosystem in your science. The term ecosystem means that a community of plants and animals within a physical environment or habitat. So the various components of ecosystems such as soils, vegetation, climate, and animals are interrelated to maintain a balanced in ecosystem and in environment. But if we disturb this environment by excessive fishing or by conducting any such activity which is disturbing the ecological system, it means there will be negative or adverse effect on our environment. So it means that an ecosystem is a geographical area where plants, animals, and other organisms, as well as weather and landscape, work together to make life possible. So, ecosystems contain biotic or living and non-living parts or factors as well. So, biotic or living parts are animals, birds, human beings, insects, and all living organisms. And abiotic factors or non-living parts are weather, climate, landscape, soil, etc. So collectively, these biotic and abiotic factors collectively uh, make an ecosystem. So now we'll see that there are land-based forms which brought ecological changes. Land-based forms mean you can say inland fishing. So inland fishing is also having very you can say negative effect on ecological systems, and in the sense that surrounding areas are affected, the subsoil or underground water that is frequently pumped out to fill these forms or these ponds, which may lower the water table of the area. So water table is the underground water level that will be decreased because of the excessive drilling of water to fill the fish from ponds. When the water evaporates, the salt reaches in surrounding tracts, so it will increase the salt content in that area, that will render these lands unsuitable for general vegetation and agriculture practices, and that land will have diseases like waterlogging and salinity, and certain other factors relating to groundwater will be faced by farmers who are conducting agriculture activities. One more point about fish farm and environment, that the coastal wetlands are considered productive areas. So what are coastal wetlands? These are you can say coastal watersheds. These are swampy areas, marshy areas adjacent to coastlines. So these are considered very productive areas in the terms of fish breeding or habitat for small fish and many other living creatures which are surviving in water bodies. So these areas provide nutrition to the organisms living in marshy lands. These lands act as nursery basically for many commercially important fish varieties and other organisms as well. So conversion of such areas into fish farms has disturbed the general marine ecosystem. So we have fishing activities in these areas but on smaller scale. But when more human interference will be there in these areas, we will have fishing activity on a wider scale. It means that we will disturb natural ecosystem, and ultimately it will result into disturbance of a marine ecosystem. Chemical pollution, that is one of the most important impact of fish farming. So effluents from fish farms may contain chemicals. So effluent is a liquid waste or sewage discharged into a river or the sea, either through fish farms or from different types of factories. And this is basically a poisonous water or polluted water. So effluents, we will discuss effluents or discharge from fish farms. So effluents from fish farms may contain chemicals. These chemicals used for disinfecting and controlling diseases, pests and predators in fish farms. Like we have different types of sprays, pesticides, herbicides, insecticides which we use in agriculture. So we use these types of diseases control chemicals in fish farms. These chemicals may contain hormones which are used for inducing breeding and transfer of fish. All these may have an adverse effect on other organisms in the environment. So this effect will disturb the ecosystem of that fish farm and surrounding area also, which ultimately will be very harmful for organisms in the environment. We know that all the things have a positive and negative both effects. Same is the case with fish farming. We have studied earlier that fish farming and have many positive effects, but with reference to environment, there are some positive effects, although not too many. But the first one, that there is a tendency of to use recycle waste. So there is a big problem. Recycling waste or waste management is a big problem of today's world. And in fish farming, this problem is also being faced. So in Pakistan, fish farming or aquaculture has many positive effects on the environment, and the most important is recycling waste. We know that aquaculture helps in the recycling of domestic and farm waste. There are two types and many types of waste, but most important are domestic waste, which we use which we produce at homes, and farm waste, which are produced at different types of farms. So animal waste are considered a good organic fertilizer. So in agricultural farms, in poultry farms, in cattle farms, we have different type of animal waste, and that is very good organic fertilizer. But domestic waste and human sewage can should be used and can be used for fish farming, but very carefully, because the use of domestic waste is can be harmful, and that's why it is restricted. Because it is dangerous, because there is a risk of transmission of human diseases to the marine life. But the combination of fish culture with waste treatment gives a boost to this industry, and it produces very good results. That's why this is a very positive effect on environment of fish farming, that we have a great tendency to recycle waste in this sector. And in countries like Pakistan is a developing country. We need to have these types of projects in our country, so that we can manage the problem of waste material in our country. That was all for today. Now, students, this is time for worksheet. And question number 1 of today's worksheet is define ecosystem, and which are the components of ecosystem that maintain a balance in the environment. First, you will tell that what is ecosystem. After that, you will tell the components of ecosystem, which are soil, then weather and climate, and vegetation, animals, etc. Some are biotic factors or components, and some are abiotic or non-living. Then next are how coastal wetlands are supportive for marine ecosystem. You will tell about coastal wetlands, which are considered productive areas because they provide nutrition to the organisms living in marshy lands. The next question is about socioeconomic benefits of developing fish farming in Pakistan. Answer is also discussed in video lesson, and it also has given in your book that great return to fishermen is a major socioeconomic benefit that increased employment, the use of technology and upgrading of skills that will also ensure fish production, then favorable impact on foreign exchange earning, and reduce burden on crop and livestock. And the last question is describe the positive effects of fish farming with reference to recycling waste. You will tell that how recycling waste is good for environment, because in this way will have step in towards waste management, specifically with the help of fishing industry. Thank you so very much, students. Once again, have a very nice day. May Allah bless you all. Ameen. Allah Hafiz. Best of